Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the pregame show here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Vision. It's Caden Fortmaster here with you out at the tailgate across the street from Greater Zion Stadium, and we are getting ready for this Utah Tech Trailblazer matchup, their final home game of the season against the West Georgia Wolves. That game coming up in about an hour. Kickoff is going to be just, again, right across the street from us, and you can listen to that live on the Fan Sports Network, 99.5 FM, 95.3 FM here in St. George. Of course, broadcasting on video on ESPN+. Again, Caden Fortmaster here with you, and we have, of course, a lot to get to in today's pregame show where it's been a bye week. From before the bye week, game against Central Arkansas, where Utah Tech Trailblazers were able to get their first win. We're going to cover that and look forward to this game against West Georgia. But before we do, today's game is, of course, brought to you by Sand Hollow Resort. Check them out with, of course, golf, their rentals, and the grill. Check them out online at sandhollowresort.com. As well, pregame is brought to you by Sport Court. You can get the home court advantage and turn your backyard into family fun with Sports Court of Southern Utah. Visit them right there at sportscourtofsouthernutah.com. To get things started, let's talk a little bit about last week. Well, 2 weeks ago, of course, as the Utah Tech Trailblazers were able to get a win over Central Arkansas. This game had a little bit of everything. It really did. You had things from one side to another. I mean, you had the passing game was on. You had the defense that was rolling. You had trick plays. It was a little bit of everything. It was a ton of fun. And Utah Tech, of course, is able to come out of that one on top over Central Arkansas and, of course, get their first win of the season, 34-21. Starting with the defensive side, though, the Utah Tech Trailblazers were able to get six turnovers. Two of those turnovers, interceptions, by Brady Sorensen, who was one of these guys that came off of the bench after Brevin Hamlin goes out with an injury. Brevin Hamlin goes to the locker room early in this game. Brady Sorensen comes into this one to take over that safety role, and we're talking just a few short minutes later. It felt like it was not that long after he was hopping into the game. He's getting two interceptions, two of the six turnovers that the Trailblazers got that day. And one of those turnovers as well was a fumble recovered at the 5-yard line, an easy punch-in. The defense was doing everything they needed to do to help win this ball game against Central Arkansas last week. And again, a ranked opponent. So Utah Tech showed us last week some of the great things that they are capable of when they are able to execute at 100% and really execute on all sides of the ball, on offense, on defense, and special teams was really locked in as well. We had a kick return that was returned for about 50 yards, if I remember correctly as well. So we saw a little bit of everything last week. One of those players we, of course, have to mention is the quarterback, Reggie Graff. Now, one thing about Reggie Graff is we take a look at some of the stats from last week against Central Arkansas. The passing side of his game, he was 26 of 35 for about 74%. So passing-wise, I mean, he was on target for the majority of the game. We'll talk about one of his major targets coming up in just a second. 211 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Not to mention on the rushing side of things, on the running game, he had 117 yards and 1 touchdown. 117 yards made him the leading rusher for the Utah Tech Trailblazers in the game last week. And then you see that asterisk down there at the bottom. He had that receiving touchdown as well. They did a double reverse. Bryce Parker was able to get a pass off to Reggie Graff. Call it a Philly special. Call it a double reverse. I don't care what you call it. But Reggie Graff was able to bring in a receiving touchdown as well. He is the first Utah Tech player in NCAA Division I history to be able to accomplish that feat of getting a touchdown in all facets of the game of rushing, passing, and receiving. So for Reggie Graff, this was really his game. You know, this was 100% his game. We haven't seen this kind of performance in a while, and maybe one of the best wins that Utah Tech can say that they have in program history from last week. So they go into a bye week. They come off of this bye week now, trying to continue to roll on. Last home game of the season. You were able to get it done at home last week. You got to try to get it done at home again this week against West Georgia. what does that look like for them? Number one, execution, of course, right? One of the guys that we talked about from last week that I said I'd get to, Eni Falai, right? He was the leading receiver, was able to get over 100 yards receiving. We haven't seen that all season, so it was nice to see a receiver that was able to go out and get over 100 yards. One thing that that Coach Anderson had mentioned as well is that, you know, he's still coming off of this injury and maybe not even 100%. So the fact that he's able to do that on not 100%, it makes you ask the question, what does he have inside of the tank coming up for the game this week? And with that bye week, able to get some rest and recovery. Guys like Brevin Hamlin, who we mentioned earlier, that were taken out of the game, what looked to be maybe some concussion symptoms, so they took him out under protocol that way. He is going to be back in action here this afternoon. But then that, of course, brings in another question. Someone like Brady Sorensen, he got 2 picks last week. Do you leave him on the sideline, you know? So there are now questions because there are guys who came out last week with limited time, who hadn't seen the field much, who were able to produce. And it creates a good problem for coaches when you have players who are producing, right? That's a good problem to have. So this week, who's going to be out there on the field? I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't have all the answers there. So it does create, though, an atmosphere that makes it a little more exciting coming into this game after we're seeing the first win of the season. And it is late in the season, but you know what? You take that first win, you get it, and hopefully you can get a second one today against West Georgia. West Georgia now does not have a win in the UAC yet. Their 3 wins on the season have all come from opponents that are outside of the UAC. And frankly, I believe outside of Division I. So for West Georgia, coming into the UAC, they're the new kids on the block this season. They're still looking to get that first win in UAC play. But this is also the last game of the season for West Georgia. Expect them to leave it all out there on the field this afternoon. We're going to get to a break. We've got a bunch of stuff to get to, catching up with a few Trailblazers with Devin Dixon. We have our Coordinator's Corner, where I was able to catch up with Coach Greg Stevens, and so much more right here inside of the pregame, brought to you again by Sports Court of Southern Utah. More on the other side after this.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy. When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Welcome back in, everybody. Here into the action from the tailgate. We've got the band and the cheerleaders off to the side over here just off camera as they're getting ready to put on a little bit of performance for the people that have come out to the tailgate. It's always nice to see a little bit of that fan interaction, community interaction, and, of course, hearing the band. I'm sure you guys can hear them coming through loud and clear, playing the Utah Tech fight song, and the cheerleaders dancing along to it as well. We love to see the festivities, I guess we'll say, of what the tailgate brings. So if you've never been to the tailgate, come on by. Sponsored by the St. George Chamber of Commerce. They get all these businesses together from our community and put on this event where you can play some games, get some free food, and just enjoy the afternoon. Now, I will say, we might have had a colder morning this morning, but right now it feels absolutely beautiful out here. And we've seen ourselves a decent crowd rolling through today. So if you've never been to a tailgate, you still have a little bit of time. You can come on over, grab some food. I know there's been some hot chocolate out there as well as just, hot dogs, things like that. So come on over, experience what the tailgate is all about. Again, brought to you by the St. George Chamber of Commerce. All right, we got a few different things to get to here. We have our Coordinator's Corner coming up. I was able to catch up with offensive coordinator Coach Greg Stevens earlier this week and talk to him a little bit about last week, and looking forward to West Georgia this week.
Welcome into the Coordinator's Corner here with the Fan Sports Network. And today we've got Coach Greg Stevens, offensive coordinator, with us for the Utah Tech Trailblazers. And Coach, congrats on the win last week, or I should say 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
How was it? Not only just we'll talk about the win, but how was the bye week first? How was it taking some time off?
It was good. It was good for us too to get some, because we've had a lot of guys hurt and stuff. Maybe get one or two guys back that probably wouldn't have been back if we would have had to play. So getting a little healthier. Sometimes those bye weeks are better when you're doing real good as opposed to not doing so good. But it was real good for us. Mainly just to get some guys back health-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the game against Central Arkansas. And I'm sure as an offensive coordinator, you've got to be happy with what the defense was able to set up for you. They had 6 turnovers. It's got to be a nice feeling for you on the opposite side of the ball to say, hey, thank you for setting us up at the 5-yard line. We'll just go get it done. Was that kind of a nice feeling, seeing that the defense was getting those takeaways?
Yeah, that's always good to get turnovers and, 3 and outs, those type of things where we're not sitting on the sideline for a while. And, they definitely helped us. All those turnovers really helped us. The one thing I thought was good offensively is we was able to, get on the scoreboard first and get an early lead. And I think that really helped our guys, especially where we haven't had a great year, and gave our guys some confidence to get going.
So tell me a little bit about the decision on what we could call, maybe you call it a double reverse, you could call it a Philly special, call it whatever you want, but that paid off for you down there and at the goal line. Was that your idea? Was that Coach Anderson? Was it kind of an amalgamation of both? Where'd that come up from?
We just called it. We'd been practicing it all year. It's been we've had it for a 2-point play and stuff. And we got down there 4th and goal and thought it'd be a good time. We knew that they were going to probably be in man coverage, and that's what we wanted, to run that play. Cause in man, they don't ever have a guy for the quarterback. So that helped the play out immensely.
Yeah. This was one of those games last week that I'm sure the locker room afterwards was definitely a different feeling, coming off of a win. Tell me about kind of the weeks that have gone on since then, and kind of how practice has been now that you've got one win behind you, and you're looking forward to a game that is a very winnable game against West Georgia.
Yeah, it is real good to get a win. Our guys have been working real hard, and I think as the season's gone along, we've really improved. Even though, we've had a lot of injuries and we're playing with a lot of young guys, but the guys have been working hard, and we've been getting better. Our execution's been better on both sides of the ball, and especially on offense. And so the guys, we've had 2 good weeks of practice, and so I think we're ready to go. Hopefully we'll come out. West Georgia's a good team, even though they don't have a great record. But if you look at their scores, all their games have been real close. They've lost a couple games on the last play of the game, and so it's gonna be a big challenge for us. And I like the way our guys are prepared, and I think we're ready to go.
Tell me a little bit about on the offensive side. Just rolling off of last week, Enny Filet had a really good game. Tell me about him and his progression this season.
Yeah, it's been great to get him back. He missed most of the year with an injury. He played, I think, second game this year. He got injured and he's been out. He's now been back 2 games, and he's really helped. He's one of our more talented guys, and we're really looking forward to seeing what he could do this year. But he made a lot of big plays last week for us, and hopefully he'll do so this week. And I think Enny's a kid that he's just going to get better and better as he gets more healthy as well. I mean, he's still not 100%, but he's out there working hard, and he made a lot of big plays for us last week.
So you have this week coming up, you do have West Georgia. Like you said, they've been in some close games. And in preparation for this, I'm sure you guys have had now a few weeks to prepare. How nice is it to have those 2 weeks of preparation for one single game?
It's good. It's good. Sometimes it can be good. Sometimes it can be bad, because you're preparing so long that the guys kind of get, when are we going to play type deal. But for us, it's been real good, I think, because we're so young. And, so hopefully it'll just, our guys, they're they know what we're going to be calling and what situations and that. And hopefully our execution will be much better.
Absolutely. Coach, again, we've got 2 games left in the season. You're hitting that final stretch. And what's kind of the end goal here towards the last few seasons of the game? Or the last few games of the season, excuse me.
Well, to keep getting better, and our guys are, like I said, they're working hard. And if we can keep improving, I think we'll be able to have some successes. But we just got to take it one game at a time. We're worried about West Georgia this week, and hopefully we'll find a way to get a win.
Love it. All right, Coach. Appreciate you stopping in with me today. And last time I'll have you on this season as well. So appreciate you stopping in, and best of luck against West Georgia this week.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
All right, there we go. A little word from our offensive coordinator for the Utah Tech Trailblazers, Coach Greg Stevens. And it's always fun to catch up with him. One of my favorite things with talking with Coach Greg Stevens is when the cameras are off. We always get into talking a little bit about some of our rural high school teams. He grew up in Manti, I grew up in Enterprise, so it's kind of fun for us to get to talk about some of the other things that we have going on in the high school football world, and he's a big fan of following along with that. And, of course, speaking of the high school football world, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs right here in St. George have punched their ticket into the state championship game, and that, of course, is going to be happening on Thursday this week, so you can listen to that one on the Fan Sports Network, the state championship game between the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs and the Spanish Fork Dons. That's who's in the matchup this week, this upcoming week for the 4A state championship. And again, congrats to them and getting the win last night over Skyview up at the University of Utah. Again, they'll be back up there Thursday. So we got so much more still left to get to, a couple of player interviews, and our last look at what to expect in this game against West Georgia. That's going to be coming up after the break here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Vision.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Hi, I'm Jermaine O'Jegman from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and skate The Rink. The Rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at The Rink.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort is home to 3 holes ranked among America's 100 greatest holes by Golf Digest. At the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, tee off against a backdrop of stunning red rock vistas on a course renowned for its innovative design and stunning views. Enjoy the 18-hole championship course or a quick 9 on the Scottish Links course. Ready to experience championship golf? Whether you're local or just visiting, schedule tee time and play a round or 2 at the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort. The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, where your next great round awaits.
welcome back into the action here on the Fan Sports Network. Trailblazer Sports Vision, Caden Formaster here with you. Enjoying the pregame show out here at the tailgate. We've got ourselves a little Trailblazer game day action from the tailgate, and the tailgate sponsored by the St. George Chamber of Commerce. Pregame show brought to you by the Sports Court of Southern Utah. So if you want to elevate your backyard, check out sportscourtofsouthernutah.com. All right, a couple of interviews to get to. Devin Dixon was able to catch up with a few of our local Trailblazer athletes. Let's first hear from one of our athletes from Utah Tech, also from Cedar City. That's Bryce Crowley. Here it is.
Bryce Crowley with me here, Cedar City kid at Utah Tech. And Bryce, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Things are good coming off the bye week. Body's feeling as good as it did going into fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah, it's feeling good. It's feeling good. We had a good bye week. It's feeling good.
I wanted to go back to the win against Central Arkansas. What was the locker room like? What were your teammates saying? What did you guys do to celebrate? Because, you know, that losing streak was getting up there and pressure was mounting to get that first win. And to get it against a ranked opponent had to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. I think the work we put in the week leading up was pretty intense. And so we were all pretty stoked to get that win, to work hard together. And the locker room was pretty wild. You know, we were dancing and hooting and hollering and having a good old time. But it was pretty great. It was pretty awesome.
What's the journey like to this point for you, your football journey, starting from your high school days? You could come down the I-15 freeway. Take everybody through that process.
Yeah, so out of high school, I didn't have any offers. SU was talking to me a little bit, but they ended up saying they didn't want me. So I was actually going to go to Snow College. I had an opportunity to go there. But then Coach Hughes, who was here last year, he called me up on literally day of my graduation and said, "Hey, you want to come play football?" And I said, "Heck yeah, I want to come play football." So, you know, ended up here, and I've loved it ever since. So yeah, that's kind of my in a nutshell.
You're from a football family, though. Your little brother had a really good season at receiver for the Reds up there in Cedar City this year. Your other brother plays football too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest. Yep, I'm the oldest.
So you're paving the way now. The expectations are high. Everybody's got to play Division I football.
I guess so.
What advice do you give those guys?
My little brothers?
Yeah.
I always just tell them keep working hard. That's what coaches look for. It's hard work. If you got that, you know, you can't teach that. So I tell them work hard and put as much effort in as you can. Throw people around. My little brother's a wide receiver, and you know they're always, you know, I never played wide receiver.
Yeah, I can see that. Look at Bryce is huge. How did you get so much bigger than the rest of your family?
I couldn't tell you. Genetics, I guess. I skipped a sibling, I guess. But yeah, I just tell them all the time, throw people around, make people look bad. You know, that's how you get noticed. My little brother's a wide receiver, so he's not usually throwing people around. But I said, if you do get to block, throw some people on the ground. You know, people like that.
I love it. You can take him if you can catch him.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, tell me, what's your favorite home-cooked meal that Mom makes that you miss? I know Cedar City is only 45 minutes away, but you probably can't go up there and eat it every day like you used to in high school.
That's right. Oh, that's a tough one. My mom's a really good cook. Probably just classic roast and potatoes. I love roast and potatoes.
Me too.
It's not much better than that. So
my mom could do that every Sunday. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any game day superstitions?
Kind of. I drink a Red Bull hour and a half before every game. I go to the bathroom right before I put my knee braces on.
Okay.
And not after that. And that's about it. Kind of weird, but I do that every single week. So
I don't think I've ever had an athlete tell me they chug a Red Bull before a game. Yeah, but it works for you. So
it works for me. You gotta get going. You gotta get that little zip going. You know.
Take us inside the practice this week. Do you see a little bit more energy, a little bit more excitement with the bye week and a win than you did earlier in the season, or does it feel the same?
Yeah, I think definitely the win definitely helped with all of our, you know, all the morale. Definitely helped, especially over, you know, Central Arkansas, who was a ranked opponent. So I think bye week was a great week. We, you know, had some good practices, had some good hard practices, and I think coming off of that, we've had some good stuff too. And so everybody's feeling good, feeling ready for our next game.
Bryce, you can see him as we get ready for the West Georgia game. And any other shout-outs? You want to give a shout-out to anybody watching or listening?
No, I think I'm good.
Bryce Crowley, everybody. Utah Tech. Let's go beat West Georgia. Thanks for the time, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
All right, there you go. Bryce Crowley, get to hear from him and kind of some of his expectations on the game and what it was like in the game last week where they were able to get the win and kind of hear some of his superstitions and things like that as well. It's kind of fun. We've got more, though, ahead of you. We've got Leighton Tanavasa as well that Devin Dixon was able to catch up with earlier this week. So let's hear what he has to say as well.
Leighton Tanavasa with me here. Trailblazers coming off the bye week and their first win of the season prior to that, shocking the 11th ranked Central Arkansas team. And Leighton, good to see you. Get that mic right up close to you so I can talk with you. Big guy, defensive lineman here. One of three guys on the team married with a kid, right, Leighton?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's the balance between football and family life and school going for you, man?
I would say there's not really a balance. Just I feel like I'm juggling a lot. But definitely when I have time to spend time with my family, it is well spent. Well spent. So.
Let's get to know you a little bit more. First of all, what's your kid's name? What's your wife's name? Some shout outs.
My wife's name is Tu, and then my son's name is Atol.
Okay, future footballer?
You know what? Maybe if football doesn't pan out, I'm hoping for golf. If not golf, maybe wrestling.
There you go. There you go. Let's get to know like a game day for you. What's a routine? What do you have to do? What do you have to eat before you strap on the helmet and go pad up?
My game day routine consists of listening to some good music. I usually go to Jimmy John's and get the number 10. And that's I keep that pretty strict, just with that's kind of what keeps me settled during the game. So yeah,
I love it. Does it make you freaky fast?
Oh, you look at the film. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
Hey man, it's been a grind, but the coaching staff has not lost the locker room. You guys have stayed focused. You've worked hard. What was it like after that the Central Arkansas game? And what's the bye week getting ready for West Georgia been like, coming off the first win, that elusive first win of the season?
We've had a couple weeks prior to that. We've been just building, especially offense and defense, playing more complementary ball. And I feel like that Central Arkansas win we've really seen us putting it together as a team and just guys loving football.
What's one thing nobody knows about you? Like maybe your teammates don't even know about you. Maybe a second hobby or what you want to do sometime. Maybe go skydiving. I don't know. It could be anything.
One of the things that I really like is I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty boring person, but I really enjoy just really good Excel spreadsheets, especially with when all of the functions and all the formulas work in tandem.
What?
It's weird, but I love a good formula. I love a good spreadsheet.
That might be the second best answer I've ever got on that question. And I didn't know where you were going with that one. Okay, I can't even get one formula to work. Maybe you can teach me one of these days.
I guess we'll both learn. We'll both have to learn.
Leighton Tonavasa with me. Okay, let's talk game week preparations. West Georgia, it's senior day. What's the emotions going to be like for you and the other seniors on this team as you try to put a little win streak together?
I think the biggest thing is just stacking the successes that we've had so far. Mentality-wise, just getting back to work. I think that it was good that we had a win against a ranked opponent. I think that we also have to have that mentality of getting back to work, doing our job every play, and doing it to the best of our ability.
Big crowd, big family, a lot of people coming to watch you play in this game?
I do have family on the way, so they'll be there to support me on Saturday.
Well, good luck, put on a show, and let's go get a dub.
Thank you. Will do.
All right. Well, that was Leighton Tonavasa. We heard from Bryce Crowley, heard from Coach Greg Stevens as well, and we are just about ready to send it on up into the broadcast booth with Rod Zundel in just a moment. The Utah Tech Trailblazers in their final home game here at Greater Zion Stadium this season against West Georgia. Now, don't forget, next week, just up the road in Cedar City at SUU, so make sure that you guys are tuning in for that one as well. I've been Caden Formaster. Thank you for joining me here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Division. Now let's send it on up to Greater Zion Stadium. Rod Zundel, voice of the Trailblazers, going to take it from here. Thank you for joining me. And let's send it to Rod.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it, baby. Out there, 1, 2, 3.
Garrett Fotuning. Ball on the ground. A fumble recovery by Utah Tech. Makes the dive. Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by Camping World of St. George. Your next great outdoor adventure begins under the big American flag.
Let's go!
The final home game for the Trailblazers as they look to make it 2 straight wins after the major upset 2 weeks ago against then 9th-ranked Central Arkansas. We are 30 minutes from kick. Utah Tech and the West Georgia Wolves.
And welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. Glad to have you aboard this afternoon. The final home game of the season for the Trailblazers and for the seniors. It's the final time that they'll put on a Trailblazer jersey here on their home field. All right, let's see. Let's make sure we get that camera all set. Is that good enough? Let's go a little bit more. By the way, I'm Rod Zundel. That's Max Christensen.
Good to have you guys.
Hold on, let's get this some shopkeeping here.
Absolutely. There it is.
There it is. Let's go right there. All right, Rod Zundel, Max Christensen III. Glad to have you aboard for this matinee matchup. Trailblazers, of course, they had a bye week, and they're coming off the biggest upset in the country in FCS. They got the win 2 weeks ago over then 9th-ranked Central Arkansas, and they're still basking in that momentum, and hopefully they're trying to make it 2 in a row here against West Georgia.
Yeah, hopefully they're not basking in it too much, right? All right. Hopefully, yeah, like you said, they're twisting the gears, twisting the knobs, trying to get every cog in place in order to come and propel them into another win. It's hard to have a really good game and then an off week and try to still carry that momentum 2 weeks in a row. We'll see if it can happen.
West Georgia, first year in Division I, first year in the United Athletic Conference. They won 3 games, but they were all exhibition games against lower division teams. And they're 0-7 in conference play. They haven't yet to win a road game, but they are better than what their record indicates by far.
Yes, and they've played a lot of close games in the conference this season, right? You look at just last week against Tarleton, nationally ranked Tarleton, 7-point game going into the fourth quarter.
And the Trailblazers were down like 30 in the first quarter against Tarleton. So that tells you what kind of team they are, right?
Yes, and they can hang with you. They can make things happen. They have a lot of good athletes, just lacking a little bit of inexperience. Yep. But this is going to be a pretty even matchup today.
Now, when you watch this game, if you're in a stadium, you're going to know something different about the look of the Trailblazers today. Here is an example. All right, Max, what'd you notice about what's new with this team today?
Got some pretty egg white helmets there. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
You like those? They're kind of clean and slick, aren't they?
I'm a little jealous. Because, having been an alumni here and played football here just last season, we never got something like that, so I'm a little jealous.
They're going to debut the white helmets, and as far as we can go back in the record books, Dixie State, Dixie Junior College, or Utah Tech, they've never worn white helmets. So this is the first time, and they're wearing the blue jerseys with the white helmets. Next week against Southern Utah in Cedar City, they're going to wear white helmets, white jerseys, white pants, I believe. So that's going to be pretty slick going right there. So we'll see if that's good luck, the white helmets. So, all right, so the Trailblazers had a bye week 2 weeks ago right here in this stadium. The biggest win in the FCS in the country, upset over then-ranked 9th-ranked Central Arkansas. The first win for first-year head coach Lance Anderson. It's been 2 weeks, so let's take a look back at the sights and sounds of the game in the upset over Central Arkansas 2 weeks ago. It is a cool and brisk fall football afternoon here in St. George, Utah. The coolest weather we've had for a football game here in St. George this season. Welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium on the campus of Utah Tech University. Glad to have you aboard for this matinee matchup.
Let's go, Blazers!
And we are underway. Here comes the pressure from the right side, across the middle, caught Malahi, first down inside the 15-yard line. McElvain to throw. And it's intercepted by Scooter Jackson at the 19-yard line. The second interception of the season for this Trailblazer defense. Oh, he played that one well. Nobody to throw to. Still plenty of time. Across the middle. Incomplete. And that is a great job defending on the football. McElvain had a lot of time, but nobody to throw to. And they're going to go to the left side. Touchdown! Eddie Falai, 6 yards from Reggie Graff. The slant, ball in the air, picked off at the 2-yard line.
Wow.
And it's coming out to the 20. It was Brady Sorensen. McElvain across the middle, in the air, interception. Brady Sorensen. Short kick on the bounce, Shamar Garrett. Garrett breaks through, there he goes down the left sideline, the kicker to beat, and Shamar Garrett down the sidelines, foot race, and he's out at the 30-yard line. The largest and biggest return of the year for the Trailblazers. Crowell in motion. They fake to him, it's the reverse, the pass to Reggie Graff.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, what a play!
I did not know something like that was going to happen.
Did anyone know that that was going to happen? A double reverse. And a quarterback keeper, nowhere to go. And down goes McElvain in the hands of Rick Mawai. McElvain, here comes the pressure. Fisher Jackson, he's got him down, fumble, and it's recovered by the Trailblazers at the 5-yard line. Cody Carlson comes away with it. First and goal from the 2. Graff rolling to his right, out in the flat, caught, touchdown, Shamar Garrett. He gets away from one guy, throws it down the field to Falai, makes the diving catch at the 30-yard line. Up the middle, ball on the ground, picked up by the Trailblazers. Graff gonna run again, got a little room, cuts it upfield, Reggie Graff's in for the touchdown. Reggie Graff, 15 yards. Where to go, across the middle, interception! And the Trailblazers shocked the FCS world with the biggest upset of the season in FCS, 34-21 over the 9th-ranked team in the country, Central Arkansas. Trailblazers finally break through for their first win of the season.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go! Thank you to you guys. Thanks for believing. Thanks for working. This is just the start of something special. I love you guys. Let's keep working, keep grinding, and we got great things ahead.
All right, Max, for anyone who's played football or any sports, that locker room setting with that kind of emotion is pretty special.
It is, yeah, and that's why you play college football. Yeah. Like that's why you play organized sports in general.
Yeah.
To have that kind of camaraderie, to celebrate those wins, to be together when you lose, right? To go through all these trials and tribulations and tumultuous times that can happen. Okay, you got to be able to bond together in the wins, together in the losses. That's what it takes.
Yeah. So that breaks a 14-game losing streak for the Trailblazers, too. So big weight off their shoulder, trying to make it 2 in a row this afternoon against West Georgia and the Wolves. Now, for the last month, Coach Anderson has been talking about finish. They haven't been able to finish when the opportunities come up. But last week, or 2 weeks ago, they were able to finish, especially the offense. The defense gave them the ball 6 times, and the offense took over, especially Reggie Graff. What a game he had, Max. He threw for a touchdown pass, ran for a touchdown, and also caught a touchdown pass. Only player in the FCS country to do that. And Eddie Falai right there, after missing 6 games, he has a touchdown reception in the last 2 games. He had 105 yards receiving. But what about Reggie? he's an athlete, and he got to prove what he could do.
He is the FCS Offensive Player of the Week, right, and across the country, which was a really big deal. The local kid, we talked about this a couple times. He went to Dixie a mile down the street, right? So for him to be able to come to Utah Tech, perform like he did, hit the trifecta, run for a touchdown, catch a touchdown, pass for a touchdown, we've seen the evolution that the offense can take when he is the one taking snaps at quarterback.
Yeah, and we'll see, because you know that West Georgia, they're going to be keying on Reggie Graff, trying to keep him in the pocket. He had 90 yards rushing, too, as well. He carried the ball a lot. So we'll see if he's still going to get that kind of. Chris Street, the running back, who's missed the last 3 games, he's going to be back at full strength, so that might help take away some of the rushing load for quarterback Reggie Graff. But they were able to finish thanks to the defense, Max. I mean, you were played in that Northern Arizona game last year in Flagstaff. You had 5 turnovers, your defense did, and you scored 2 defensive touchdowns. But 2 weeks ago, 6 turnovers. That ties a school record, and the offense was able to take advantage of it, and that's why they got the win. But it started off early with some interceptions. There's Scooter Jackson, and that's his first of the year. And then this guy, Brady Sorensen, a true freshman. He only had 1 tackle the entire season. He had 2 picks on consecutive drives.
Yeah. Really impressive coming in. Like you said, hasn't contributed much to this football team, but was able to come in and contribute on the biggest stage in the biggest game they played all season.
And then Jackson Smith had an interception, and they also had 2 fumble recoveries. Fisher Jackson with the strip fumble there, strip sack, and Cody Carlson should have gone in for a defensive touchdown. But the defense, they were aggressive, and again, they made the plays when the opportunities came up.
This is the first game we've seen really all season where the offense and the defense came together as one for the Trailblazers. You know, offense is pretty and it's fun and it's cool, but I've talked about this multiple times. Defense is what wins big games. Defense is what wins championships. You know the old saying.
Yeah, I got you. Quincy Leger, you saw him recover the fumble. He's been banged up. Was able to practice on Thursday and a little bit on Wednesday, so he's going to be a game-time decision. He's been playing well. He's really been the surprise guy in the defensive secondary. And you just learned that Jackson Smith, who got an interception last year, he was going to get a lot of playing time because Scooter Jackson's not going to be able to play, and Gabe Valenzuela's not going to play in the defensive backfield. But you got some news on Jackson Smith.
Yeah, Jackson Smith pulled his hamstring on Thursday in practice. He's going to be out for this game today. Hopefully be back next week, right, for the battle over the Black Ridge up there at SUU.
The battle for the axe, the battle of Black Ridge.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
It's going to be fun. So, all right, Trailblazers looking for their 2nd straight win. We're counting down the moments to kickoff. And the seniors, they're being honored final time. You know what that's like. Anyone who's played football, this is an emotional moment. You're playing for the final time on your home field. More Trailblazer kickoff when we come back.
D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder, but with a local heart. Nestled just west of the Sand Hollow Recreation Area is a 600-acre master-planned community with beautifully designed single-family homes, cottages, and townhomes called Long Valley. Visit us at drhorton.com and join us in continuing the American dream of home ownership and build your next home with D.R. Horton, America's builder.
Experience the magic of southern Utah from the sky and the ground at Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons. They take you on breathtaking journeys across the stunning landscapes of St. George, Hurricane, and beyond. But why just visit when you can live here? Priority First Real Estate is dedicated to helping you find your dream home. Together, they bring you closer to the community, closer to nature, closer to home. Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons and Priority First Real Estate, where adventure meets home.
Hey there, sports fans. Ready to take a time out from the sidelines and jump into the action? St. George Regional Airport has you covered. Score big with convenient flights that take you from our Red Rocks to destinations around the globe. Whether it's the bright lights of LA or an exotic getaway across the Pacific, your adventure starts right here at home. When you're planning that epic getaway, St. George Regional Airport is your home field advantage.
Back here in Greater Zion Stadium, about 18 minutes away from kickoff, final home game of the season, Trailblazers and West Georgia Wolves. And on the field now, they're honoring the seniors playing in their final home game and their final jersey here in St. George. And Rod Zundel, Max Christensen here. And Max, always an emotional time when you know that this is the last time that you'll be in your friendly confines playing college football.
Absolutely, and that's kind of where, your career for most guys is coming to an end as well. Yeah, they have one more game up at SUU, but for almost everybody, that's it. Right? It's over. So you got to be able to cherish these moments, soak it in a little bit, take some time to remember the good memories and what got you here to this point, and just go out and play ball.
A lot of the players, they're seniors, but they still may have some athletic ability remaining, and they got to make a decision if they're coming back. But they're going to honor upwards of 15 or 16 guys today. So very emotional time, not only for the players, but for the entire families, because it takes mom and dad, it takes the whole family, it takes uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa, and your best friend.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I mean, in my case, I started playing football when I was 9 years old, and finished playing when I was 25 because of COVID, right? And so to be able to realize, wow, this is a whole chapter in my entire life, from childhood to adulthood that's finally closing, and just to be able to soak that in and just enjoy it, that's the best part.
All right. Time now to hit the film room, a little study session with head coach Lance Anderson, going back to a very crucial and important play to seal the win against then 9th-ranked Central Arkansas. Let's go into the film room with head coach Lance Anderson.
I'm going to start with a critical offensive play in the fourth quarter. And as you can see, at this point, it's 27-14. We're up by 13 points. What we wanted to do in this situation is at least get us a field goal that would give us a 16-point lead. So that way Central Arkansas would need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions just to tie the game. So we've got 3rd and 15 here from the 15-yard line. So because of that, we thought we'd take a more conservative route, and rather than throw the football, we called a quarterback draw here. I think this was a great call by Coach Stevens, where we felt like we would at least set up a field goal, but hey, this turns into a touchdown. And it's just tremendous execution by the offense. So first I want you to watch our center here, Bryce Crowley, who does a great job of just staying on this defensive tackle and just washing him wherever he wants to go. Another critical block here is the block here by our right tackle, Logan Hicks. As the defensive end slants out, he stays on that block and gives Reggie Graff an initial rush lane here to be able to get the play started. Now, also out on the perimeter, we don't have devastating blocks, but we have a lot of good examples of just guys putting a body on a body and getting their blocks made. Starting here with Eni Falaye, who's our tight end. We've got Eric Olson, another tight end that gets on his block. And then Chase Richards leads the way through here and makes a critical block as well. So those are all things to look for as you watch the play here. The blocks by Bryce Crowley and Logan Hicks on the line of scrimmage, and then the 3 blocks on the perimeter here that spring this play. Great job of getting blocks, and then this is a tremendous run here, tremendous read here by Reggie Graff, who had a tremendous game. Now, take a look at it here from the end zone. Look at Bryce Crowley, 74. Stay on his man, wash him down. There's 65, Logan Hicks, making his block, and then you see the other guys get on their block. Chase Richards leading his way through. But look at the cut here by Reggie Graff. He sees the opening, puts his right foot in the ground, accelerates vertical, and scores the touchdown. Tremendous play there that gives us a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter.
All right. They're going to need some more of those holes opening up for Reggie and also Chris Street, who's coming back to break this defense of West Georgia. And West Georgia, they're 3rd in the United Athletic Conference in total sacks. So they're a potent team, even though they're 0-7 in conference play.
Which that can bode well for them against an offensive line that struggled a little bit this season for the Trailblazers. They've had a lot of shuffling up and down that offensive line. You see, when you have an offensive line, you need 5 cohesive starters. If not, you have some breakdowns, some miscommunications, things like that. West Georgia's going to try and take advantage of that today here at Greater Zion.
And they're going to be without freshman Jacob Zarate, local kid as well. He's not going to be on the offensive line. So, it is a makeshift line. Okay, the seniors are out being honored in their final game here in Greater Zion Stadium. You have Fisher Jackson, the transfer from BYU, Alec Burton, the tight end. He has 3 catches, 2 of those for touchdowns this year. Malachi Fakahua, local kid, the transfer from BYU that moved from running back to linebacker this year, and he has done a superb job. So when we come back to the final word from head coach Lance Anderson, counting down the minutes until kickoff, Utah Tech, West Georgia.
Welcome to St. George Academy,
home of the Dragon Slayers, where academic excellence meets individualized learning right here in Southern Utah. At St. George Academy, we believe in challenging our students with rigorous curriculum, preparing them for a demanding college experience and beyond. And it's all tuition-free. Our unique Pathway University program offers accelerated courses, allowing students to earn college credits in high school. Experience the St. George Academy difference, schedule your tour today, and join us on your educational journey.
Yesco is a proud partner of Trailblazer Sports Vision and Utah Tech Athletics. Yesco specializes in manufacture of custom electric signs and displays. From the smallest to the largest, Yesco can design, manufacture, install, and maintain an identification package that is tailored to your specific needs. Yesco has been serving Utah businesses for well over 100 years with quality signage and exceptional service. To see how Yesco can serve you, go to yesco.com.
Craving something sweet but healthy? Come to Berries and Cream, the original spot for fresh berries in our delicious sweet cream. Locally owned and operated right here in St. George. We offer a cold, refreshing treat that's perfect for the southern Utah climate. Fresh fruit has never tasted so good. Berries and Cream, the original taste of St. George.
Seniors still being honored out on the field as we count down the minutes till kickoff. Utah Tech and West Georgia Trailblazer trying to get their second straight win after the upset 2 weeks ago over Central Arkansas. And this is the finale, season finale for West Georgia. They're in their first year Division I, first year in the United Athletic Conference. And this will end their season. They are 0-7 in conference play. They've won only 3 games this year. All of those have been at home against smaller division teams. So they're looking to feel a little bit better about themselves going into the offseason.
Yeah, the last game of their season against a pretty evenly matched team in Utah Tech University. So this should be a pretty good game against two teams who are one team desperate to carry in a little bit of momentum, another team desperate to kind of write their season to jumpstart their offseason.
And they have they go with a 2-quarterback system, Widener and Casey, so you want to watch for that. Number 19 is their star receiver, big guy. He leads the conference in touchdown receptions with 9. And then they've got a couple of linebackers that are on the verge of having the most tackles on a West Georgia team in the last 10 years. So they've got some pretty good players, and it's going to be a test today for the Trailblazers. They try to get their second win. All right, time now to get the final word with head coach Lance Anderson, looking back to 2 weeks ago and what it means to this game here as they try to go for 2 in a row.
All right, Coach, coming off a bye week, what were you able to accomplish with these guys during that bye week?
We got some good practices in during the bye week. We were able to really go back, concentrate on fundamentals, doing some of those basic things right. We were able to get some injured guys back, get some young guys some reps, but also some of the guys who've been taking a bunch of reps were able to get a little bit of rest during that time.
Did you give them some days off?
They did. We had the weekend before off, so we worked hard at the beginning of the week, and then they had a little bit of time off.
A touchdown, Annie Falai.
Did it come at a good time, or would you have rather just got back into it after your first win?
Well, I'd love to just keep that momentum going from the win, but I think it was also good with just some of the injuries, some of the guys are a little banged up. I think it was good to get some rest.
Fisher Jackson, he's got him down, fumble, and it's recovered by the Trailblazers at the 5-yard line.
How do you expand on what you started 2 weeks ago?
We've just got to continue to do the fundamental things right. We've got to be able to finish. We've just got to play hard, play with great effort, and just keep building on what we've been doing the last few weeks.
What's it been like the last 2 weeks? They finally got rewarded for all their hard work.
I think there's been some really good energy. I think it was just great to get that win, to see, what we can do when we do things right in all phases. The 6 takeaways.
Ball in the air, picked off at the 2-yard line. Wow.
Some big special teams plays, very efficient on the offensive side of the ball. So it was just a great example of what happens when we play as a team, we do things together, and we just need to build on that. There's been a lot of excitement, a lot of energy over the last week plus.
You've been talking about finishing all season long. How rewarding and satisfying was it for your guys to actually finish and see them get it done?
The pass to Reggie Graham. Wow. Oh my goodness, what a play!
Very, very much so. I mean, just feels like that, weight lifted off your shoulders. That's something we've been preaching all along. Whether it's offense, it's defense, it's special teams. Just finishing and being able to execute.
On a personal note, your first head coaching win.
Coach, this
Great to get that. It was a long time coming. It felt good to finally get it.
Okay, so when West Georgia comes into town, this is their finale for the season. They haven't won on the road. They're a newcomer. Just talk about them because they are potent.
They are. They've got a lot of talented players on both sides of the ball. They played a lot of close games. They're very creative in what they do. So they're very game plan oriented. So you've got to be good at applying your rules. Using your fundamentals, using your techniques, so they will be a real challenge for us this week.
Okay, so you're stranded on a beach and you see a genie in a bottle. You have one wish. What would that be for this Saturday?
We got to find a way to get a win. That's always the most important thing, and that's the goal this week. Whatever it takes, we've got to find a way to get a win.
So the message today is whatever it takes?
That's whatever it takes.
All right, Max, as a coach, when you preach for a long period of time, like Coach Anderson, finish, and execute so you're able to finish, and then to see it happen and to see your players excited about it and rewarded for all their hard work, that's a special moment in not only a coach's life, but in the players as well.
And not just see it happen in general. You see it happen against a top 10 team in the country at your level. And so they're able to execute and convert against a very, very good Central Arkansas team. Yeah. So it's a surprise when it's that kind of thing, right? It's a pleasant surprise when it's against a good opponent. But yeah, all season long, he's been little things, fundamentals, finish. The perfect storm happened 2 weeks ago. See if it can happen again today.
Okay, let's see if it can happen. Final thoughts on this game. Keys to the game. Thoughts. What do the Trailblazers have to do to make it 2 in a row to get a lot of momentum going to the rivalry game next week?
Yes. Execute on defense and convert third downs on offense. And I know that's the other way out for West Georgia as well. Converting third downs. Yeah. Okay. We might not see, we might see a bunch of 3-and-outs today. We might not. It's going to kind of depend on what the defensive looks look like. But both offenses need to convert third downs in order to keep drives alive, put some points on the board.
Speaking of keeping drives alive, 2 weeks ago against Central Arkansas, time of possession, 40 minutes for Utah Tech, just over 20 for Central Arkansas.
Wow.
That's going to win you a lot of games right there. We'll see if they can do it. All right, the seniors have been honored on the field. They're about ready to wrap it up, and we are counting down the minutes till kickoff. Utah Tech and West Georgia coming up. You can watch this game on ESPN Plus and also listen to it on The Fan with Devin Dixon and Paul Ratliff. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Kickoff, Trailblazers, Wolves coming up.